Hi there, I'm Chrissy Regan. Welcome to Step 1, Journaling. Once you've read or listened to Step 1 of my book, you'll be ready to embrace journaling. For many people who are not big on writing, this could be the first hurdle. I get that. We like to try and find ways to take shortcuts and make things easier for ourselves. The best way to start journaling is to go and buy a book or a notepad that you will want to carry around with you and leave on your bedside table. Here's a journal that I bought in 2019 called No Bad Days. This was my No Bad Days journal because I was guilty of thinking I'm having a really bad day. This journal jumped out at me on the shelf, and there was a little message here that said, "Let your light shine." And that spoke to me. So this was my journal in 2019. Now, you know that my book, 12 Steps to an Unbreakable Mind, Body and Spirit, was inspired by what I wrote in this journal. And you can even see here, very early on in the journal, where I wrote down my 12 steps to an unbreakable mind, body, and spirit, probably within the first 10 pages of scribbling. So that was my journal for 2019. My journal for 2020 evolved into the Make It Happen journal. And I love the color and I love the words. And I thought, right, I now feel unbreakable. Now I need to make it happen. And in this journal has been my inspiration for manifesting abundance, for developing my goals for the future, and for putting together this wellness school. So I hope you will choose a journal that speaks to you. So in our journal, we have a chance to do an emotional deep dive. Now, deep dive is modern speak for looking at things from all angles and trying to figure out a solution to any kind of problem or where to go to next. Often we have an idea that we want to feel happy or be wealthy or not be sick, but we don't write down what we don't want to feel or what we don't want to think about. Our life is just consumed by our thoughts and our feelings. We don't take time to analyze them or be curious about why they are a part of our life. I like to think that a journal is a window into your soul. You can look at the deepest parts of yourself and begin to know truly, who am I? Along with that question, who am I? You will probably be curious about why I am the way I am. Now that is an even deeper question. I'm not going to tell you how to answer that question, as we are all unique. And often, just writing those two questions will spark something in you. A journal allows you to be curious without judgment, playful without reproach, and compassionate without pity. If you find an aspect of your character that is challenging you, like anger or bitterness, resentment, grief, etc., you can fully explore that. How do you explore it? Well, you start with writing it down, being curious about how you got there, and then doing some research into that. For example, if you were abused as a child, you may find that you have developed a range of coping mechanisms to help you throughout your life, and you don't feel your feelings. Common traits of abused children are they repress their experiences as a coping mechanism. They are good at keeping secrets. They suffer with anger and resentment in different aspects of their life. They have self-destructive behaviors. They mistrust people who say they love them. They may become sexually promiscuous or derive value from sexual pleasure. If you've never told anyone that you were abused or dealt with the trauma of being abused, then these aspects of your character and your behaviors may come as a shock to you. 1 in 4 people have been abused as a child, many of which never tell anyone or talk about it for fear of shame or guilt that it was somehow their fault. Other things to consider in your journaling deep dive are: have I suffered abuse of any form, and what was the impact on me? Am I living in a state of fear and stress? Do I suffer with anxiety and depression? What may be some causes and triggers for that? Who or what inspires me? Am I a negative, pessimistic, or optimistic person? Am I grateful or ungrateful? Am I self-sacrificing or selfish? Do I have self-respect, self-worth, and self-love? Do I suffer guilt? Is it rational guilt or irrational guilt? Am I a perfectionist? Do I use numbing behaviors to avoid my feelings, like drugs, alcohol, sex, shopping, gambling, eating, self-harm, etc.? Am I fake or authentic? How do I cope with being uncomfortable? Do I practice self-care? Do I even know what self-care is? Types of self-care: physical, emotional, social, spiritual. There are different forms of self-care. I will put a link to a helpful video to help you understand self-care for you and to develop a healthy foundation of sustaining behaviors in self-care. Do I gaslight others, or am I being gaslighted? If you don't know what gaslighting means, I put a helpful picture in this tutorial for you to reference, and you may be curious to go and do some research about gaslighting for yourself. At what point in my life did I feel happy, comfortable, calm, in control, and fulfilled? Where do I sit on Maslow's hierarchy of human needs? This is Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. At the bottom, we have our physiological needs, such as air, water, food, clothing, shelter, reproduction. Then we have our safety needs: personal security, employment, health, and our property. Then we move into love and belonging: friendships, intimacy, family, sense of connectedness. Then we move into our esteem: respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strengths, and our freedoms. Then at the very top, we have our self-actualization, which is the desire to become the best and most that one can be. Often, if we're living in a state of stress or fear, we spend a lot of our life down here in the red and orange section, sometimes tipping up into the yellow, very infrequently tipping up into the green and the blue. If you live all of your life down here, then you're just living with your basic human needs and not fulfilling your true potential. Please be curious about Maslow's hierarchy of human needs and where you sit on that spectrum. After my 12 steps, I'm fairly certain that I want to spend my life up here in the green and the blue, because the rest of this stuff can and will take care of itself. Not only that, in most westernized societies, we will never have true suffering of homelessness, war, and starvation because we have access to food and shelter and safety and security. How do I feel about my life right now? What feelings would I like to feel in my life right now? Do I want to feel happy, calm, fulfilled, grateful, wondrous, kindness, compassion, inspired? You can choose and decide for yourself how you want to feel. Am I over-functioning? Do I like to advise, rescue, take over, and I don't look inward? I'm busy helping everyone else solve their problems and I ignore my own. Do I have a creative outlet? How do I like to express myself? Do I have any hobbies? What were my hobbies in the past? Can I forgive myself for hurting others? Can I forgive others for hurting me? What do I like about myself? What do I dislike about myself? What would my friends say about me? What does good health look like to me? What are my values? And what things do I find most important in life? Honesty, love, helping, etc. You may not write in your journal for 30 days, but make a concerted effort to answer as many of these questions as you can over the course of the 30 days. And then go back and read what you have written every few days. The process of reviewing what you have written and then looking at your words objectively is very helpful and healing, and it will set you up well for step 2. If you're a technology person, then a journal on your device is fine too. Often I would find myself having an aha moment when I was out walking, and I would make a note in my phone notes and then I'd email it to myself later to review and add to my journal. Whatever works for you is fine. Here are the top 5 tips from step 1 to help you on your journey to journaling. Write in your journal for 30 days. Write down your values. Write down the feelings you have the most or common themes. Write down the feelings you wish to have or aspire to feel. Conduct your own emotional deep dive. Journaling is a window into your soul that can showcase what is in your mind, what is wrong with your body, and where to find your spirit. Thank you for participating in step 1. I hope you'll find the other resources valuable, and I look forward to seeing you again in step 2. Happy journaling. See you soon. Bye-bye.